What up, y'all? Come on in here. Come on in here. We on the late night Q&A tip. Come on in here. As YouTube sends out its slow ass notifications. What's up, Trey Day? Trey Day 90 in this motherfucker. Chief voter B1. Hey, what's up, Christian Clayton? What's up, BB? Christian Clayton, that nigga type like somebody who wear elbow pads when he play basketball. That nigga, uh, Chief voter only, Chef voter look like he only smoked that brown bullshit ass weed. Trey Day look like this nigga Trey Day turned down pussy for video games. What's up, Anthony Bolden? Anthony Bolden look like that responsible nigga at church. Like, Anthony Bolden, that brother. Bolton? My bad, I said Bolden. Anthony Bolton. He look like that good usher at church. You know that usher that tell you where to sit? But if you want to sit in your own seat, he don't really trip. But like, all right, go ahead, my brother. Have a blessed service. Yes, sir. That boy, Josh Jr. look like he played the congos for an ice cream truck band. Josh Jr. played the congos in an ice cream truck song band. Like, then all they do is record ice cream song music. They be like, we gonna take them old ice cream songs and we gonna put them motherfuckers on Spotify, you dig? And nah, Chief Voter, you don't smoke that. Chief Voter, this nigga, you the kind of motherfucker that only smoke hash with no weed. Yeah, you want some of that hash there, brother? Nigga, you ain't got no weed with that hash? Fuck your problem, Chief Voter. That nigga, Jordan Henley, this motherfucker play basketball like Zaza Pachulia. How your name Jordan, but you hoop like Pachulia, nigga? I'm just fucking with y'all, man. I'm having fun with y'all. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Yeah. These niggas in here. This nigga name is Jordan, but he hoop like Vlade, nigga. My nigga name is Jordan, nigga, but he hoop like David Stern. That nigga said I got a KFC Amex card. That's a good one, Josh Jr. You ain't shit. I'd highlight that one if I could. I'm on my phone though. Yeah, this motherfucker. Yeah. You say you hoop like Kwame with no hands? That was the frustrating thing about Kwame Brown. I remember when he played with the Lakers. He would always be in position. He set good screens. See, part of being a big in the NBA is the ability to set good screens. And one thing I can say is Kwame Brown set good screens when he played in the NBA. But he couldn't catch. Man, but what's up, Quan S? We about to get started. Quan up in here. That's how you know it's official. But, man, I might tell this story a few times. People get here. I had to check an old nigga today. Man. What's up, Butter Love? See, salute to Butter Love. The concert I was at today, I'm going to tell y'all the story about I had to check this old nigga at the Hollywood Bowl today. I want to thank Brother Love for even letting me know about that show. Because I'm a Hollywood Bowl subscriber, and I didn't even know that today's show was going on. She was like, "You see this shit? They got Billy Porter as the advertisement Butterlove saw had Billy Porter as like the featuring act. But the one they sit down, I ended up getting the show information like later on that same day, and it had Earth and Fire. I was like, okay, cool. They knew they had Billy Porter as the act. For me, them tickets would not have been bought. But since the guys were there, and let me tell you, I had a good weekend, man. I got to see the guys twice. That's my name for Earth and Fire. That's the god. They're the gods. Earth and Fire. That's the gods of music right there. But I got to see them Saturday night. It was Carlos Santana, War, and Earth and Fire on Saturday. Then I got to see Earth and Fire again today. And today's show was good. It was the Roots, BBD, Earth and Fire came out. Neo performed. Shaka Khan performed. Sounds of Blackness, Anthony Hamilton, Mary. That shit was dope. You know what I mean? So it was a great show. It was a great show. Oh, you said DJ Quick was in OKC last night? I love watching. It's good to see DJ Quick out there now, because I see DJ Quick all the time here in LA. Was he with Sugar Free? I got to see DJ Quick and Bootsy Collins back in 2015. That shit was dope. DJ Quick with Bootsy Collins. Yeah, hey Quan. Yeah, I heard they're gonna be in Dallas. Quan, you better go to that show. If you in Dallas, y'all better go. Earth and Fire did they motherfucking thing last night. And they did like a whole hour and a half set. They played Fantasy, they played Reasons, Got to Get You Into My Life, Sing a Song, That's the Way of the World, Serpentine Fire, Mighty Mighty, Devotion. Man, they played everything I wanted to hear except for Can't Hide Love. They didn't play Can't Hide Love. Cause I love that vamp at the end of Can't Hide Love. I can't sing. But they did they motherfucking thing. You stay strong. What's up, Chris? What's up, Knockout Noda? That nigga Knockout Noda look like a peeping Tom at an old folks home. Hey, Butler, they played all. Then Santana played Black Magic Woman. That's my favorite Santana song. She's a black magic woman. Man, they played all that shit. So tonight was a great show at the Hollywood Bowl. Great show. So, like I told y'all, I went out and it was so cool thing about tonight's show, the bowl. The security wasn't tripping. They weren't tripping last night. I was able to smoke weed in my chair both nights, both Saturday night and tonight. So tonight, I was smoking weed in my patty, in my box, but I could tell the people who were in the box with me, they were some stiff asses. They didn't like the weed smoke, and they didn't say nothing, but I could tell. I was like, man. So when they announced Billy Porter's next, I'm like, cool. This is a perfect time to go to the smoking patio. All right. So I go to the smoking patio. I see this old nigga and one dude like my age in his 40s, and another dude look like he's probably in his 30s. And the old nigga's like in his mid 60s, right? How do I know he's in his mid-60s? Let me tell you how I know. He had a Bluetooth on his ear. You dig? You can't be no younger than 63 when you got a Bluetooth on your ear. Alright? Hey, fuck you, G Mars. G Mars is the person that cleans up porn sets. That's what G Mars do. G Mars wipe cum stains off walls. That's what G Mars does when he's not in the chat room talking shit. When G Mars ain't in the chat room talking shit, he cleaning up porn sets. And he don't even wear gloves either. He be like, nah, I got this. Don't trip. I don't need no gloves. I don't need no gloves. It's just a little bit of pre-cum. I got this. But back to my story. All right? I'm trying to tell you niggas a story, but you ignorant motherfuckers want to crack jokes. Fuck y'all. You ignorant ass niggas. Are you at the show too, G Mars? So G Mars, so we at the Hollywood Bowl, right? And so I go to the smoking patio. It's time for Billy Porter to come on stage, because it was like a live for TV kind of show. It was like a live for TV kind of show. And so they're having commercial breaks and shit. And they announce, when we come back from break, it's Billy Porter. So I said, cool, perfect time to go to the smoking patio. So I go to the smoking patio. I see this old nigga, right? And we talking. It's me, the nigga around my age, a dude in his 30s, and the old nigga with the Bluetooth in his ear. Again, he had the Bluetooth in his ear, so that's right there that you know you're dealing with somebody who has no problem with Joe Biden's job in office so far. You know, anytime you see an old nigga in the Bluetooth, he's 100,000% cool with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So the conversation don't even go that way, right? I got my T-shirt on, Black American Music Family Tree, right? I got that shirt on, and so they talking about the old nigga is talking to the nigga around my age about Black Americans being in America before slavery, right? And the nigga my age, as a matter of fact, he's somebody who watches Craig Facts. He recognized me from Craig Facts. If you watching, brother, I don't remember your name, but the dude recognized me from Craig Facts. So he kind of hearing the old nigga, and the old nigga dropping some good game, right? The old nigga telling the dude what he want to hear, for the most part. What he needs to hear, for the most part. Old nigga telling him that, right? And so they start talking to me. And I'm like, yeah, you know, black people been here, because if you look at it, and this is what I was thinking about, the last slavery, the importation of slaves got outlawed in 1808. Now we know the last ship came like in 1859, but slavery got outlawed. Slavery got outlawed in 1808. And as we know, about 350,000 slaves, 400,000 slave people came from Africa. Well, by the time we get to the 1890 census, I'm telling them, by the time we get to the 1890 census, it's 4 million black people. So, general growth population goes at 2 to 3% a year, growth population. So there's no way you can jump from 400,000 people to 4 million, in less than a century, yada, yada, yada. That's what I'm talking to these old niggas, right? So, then the old nigga was trying to break it down to somebody like in his 40s, but he wasn't getting through to him. I come through, y'all know how I teach. I teach very concisely. And so, old nigga, I come in and in 2 minutes, 30 seconds or less, I tell the nigga what old nigga had been spending the last 15 minutes trying to explain to him, right? So, old nigga, so then the dude my age, the one that watched Craig Facts, I had my Jordan 11s on, right? 11 or 13, I be forgetting the name of them hoes. But I think it was my 11s. I had some Jordan 11s on, right? Mind you, I didn't have these Jordan 11s on 20 minutes ago. When I got to the show, I got there in my Crocs. I was wearing Crocs when I got to the bowl. But y'all, you know, I'm at the point now with the Hollywood Bowl, I got a good relationship with them people. So they let me park right there by the way you can go outside. So I'm parked right there. And so I was like, man, it's about to turn nighttime. You know, LA get cold at night. Like, let me put my shoes on because it's about to get cold. I want my feet all cold. So I go to my car, take my Crocs off, put on my Jordan 11s, walk to the smoking patio, and that's when this conversation's going on. So dude is like, hey man, I see why I was able to hear what you had to say. We got the same shoes on. And the nigga had the same shoes I had on. White Jordan 11s with the blue, white and blue. All right? And so then when he says that, the old nigga with the Bluetooth, looking like a Frankie Beverly and Maze reject, he looks over at someone else and is like, see, people sound smart, then you look at what shoes they wearing and like, So, old nigga with the Bluetooth, Frankie Beverly and Maze reject, he basically tried to clown me to somebody else. He basically said, because I'm wearing some Jordan 11s that are very comfortable, by the way, he said, since I'm wearing some Jordan 11s, I must not be smart, or I must not be on the right wavelength. And so I heard him say that. I don't know if he meant for me to hear it, but I heard it. And so I said, it's not that bad when it's free. First of all, I ain't pay for these motherfuckers. I got them for free. I have at least 10 pair of Jordans I didn't pay for. But because people be giving me shit. And I used to work with a lot of niggas in the NBA. So I got a whole bunch of free Jordans. But just say I did pay for them. Say I paid full price for them. Okay, I still don't see an issue with that. So I said, it's not dumb when you don't pay for them. And then he was like, see, no, that's not the problem. The problem is, it's the consciousness. Why would you wear the shoes of your oppressor? I said, you got a Bluetooth of the oppressor. I said, you have a Bluetooth of the oppressor right now in your ear, dude. I said, did no black man make that Bluetooth in your ear? That shit was made by Samsung. And he was like, so I was like, I said, look, man, we live in a system of white supremacy where they own and control all of the resources. So you're going to have to make your concessions. To turn around and say, you don't do nothing unless it's black, I said, you full of shit. I said, because you have a Bluetooth in your ear. So I'm already knowing off top, all of what you buy ain't all black. You got a Bluetooth, brother. You don't even need that Bluetooth. You could just have a phone. But no, you want to get a white man extra money and say, hey, look, let me get that Bluetooth too. So I can look like I'm cool and I can look like it's 2006 in this motherfucker. We about to 2003 in this bitch with my Bluetooth and your linen suit looking like a Frankie Beverly and Maze reject like I started this story. So Frankie Beverly and Maze reject old nigga starts talking about, then so he starts going in. He's like, how can you call yourself and say you have a level of consciousness and you wear Jordans? I said, do you know what? And this is what I did. See, let me tell y'all something, people. Bit of advice. Whenever you telling somebody some shit and you know you in the right and you know you real, look them dead in the eye. I'm telling all you young niggas this. It's a lot of you young niggas that listen to me. I'm telling you young niggas. When you saying some real shit to somebody, when you saying something that somebody needs to hear, look them dead in the eye and do not blink and do not look the other way. That's for all you young niggas. Jordan, Henley in here. Who else is up in here? G Mars, all you niggas. Look these niggas in the eye. Anytime, even if they are older than you, don't be afraid, little young niggas. Look them in the eye. And so Frankie Beverly and Mays reject Bluetooth old nigga looking like it's 2004 starts to double down on his statement about niggas who wear Jordans. And so what I told him, I said, you know what? I said, I used to have that consciousness. I said, what you're saying? I used to have that consciousness. But you know what stopped me from having that consciousness? About 10 years ago, a kid that I work with told me about the resale market of Jordans, how you can buy them for $200, sell them for $2,000. Literally that same week, I was hollering at Larry. This is back when Larry lived in LA. And Larry was on the crib, and Larry broke down that whole resale market to me. And I was like, yo, because I wasn't up on game literally till about 10 years ago, y'all. Y'all don't look. I don't give a fuck about fashion. I really don't. I think that's where my white side come in. I got some white ancestors back in the 1800s. I think that's where my white ancestors back in the 1840s. I think that's where they speak to me. I don't give a fuck about fashion. Now, I'm always dressed clean. I'm always gonna be clean. I'm always gonna smell good. But I don't give a fuck about the newest fashion, the newest trend. I don't know what the difference between Guess, Balenciaga, and Levi's, nigga. It's all the same to me. Levi's, nigga, and Carl Canais. Do they even still make Carl Canais? I don't know. Because you know why? DeWan don't give a fuck about fashion. Right? So, if I could wear sweats and a t-shirt everywhere. And then in the summertime, basketball shorts, God damn it, and some Crocs. I don't give a fuck about fashion. But anyway, I'm talking to old nigga with the Bluetooth, thinking it's 2003, looking like he just came from church earlier today. And he probably gonna leave the concert early because he got to piss too much. So I'm breaking it down. So I tell the old nigga, I said, you know what? They're young black. I said, I used to think on that vibration you think of until I understood that first of all, how people dress ain't got nothing to do with their consciousness. Because the first nigga I'm gonna look at sideways is a nigga wearing an ankh and Hotep attire. That's the first nigga I'm gonna look at sideways. The first nigga I'm gonna look at sideways is the nigga in the 3-piece suit. Let me tell you something. Think about every time you've been deceived in your life on a major level. I ain't talking about none little regular everyday nigga crime. If you've been cheated on the interest rate or something with your house, it was by a nigga in a suit. If you was cheated out of tithes and offerings, it was by a nigga in a suit. If you was fucked up in a car, if you wouldn't have got a car and found out later that car deal with some bullshit, it was a nigga in a suit. So first of all, if you want to be deceived, the first thing you got to look out for if you don't want to be deceived is a nigga in a 3-piece suit. Because if a motherfucker's in a 3-piece suit, it's a good chance that motherfucker's out to deceive you. That's facts. Every time you've been deceived by a lawyer, by a detective, what was these niggas wearing? A 3-piece suit. So first of all, you can't even judge people on their attire. Because if you judging people on their attire, nigga, you already lost. Let me say that again. If you judge people based on how they dress, you already lost. Because that 3-piece suit nigga is the motherfucker that's gonna go around and have you paying $300 a month for a car note that should have been $179. Tell me I'm bullshitting. So back to what I'm talking about. Yeah, pimps, politicians, three-piece suit. I'ma vote for me. I set you free. Yeah. And after I take 99% off top for myself, a nigga in the suit told you that shit. It's always a nigga in the suit that deceives you at the highest of levels. But they never tell you to look at the nigga in the suit. That's why you gotta trust yourself, black people. Fuck appearance. You gotta trust people's vibrations. You gotta trust people's soul. But back to my story about Frankie Beverly and Mays reject with the Bluetooth in his ear, thinking it's 2004. He look like one of them old niggas that bumped Jaheim thinking he listening to some new shit. Y'all know them old niggas. Nigga, hey, Uncle Clarence, this song came out, hey, how you doing? Nigga, that came out in 2002, nigga. That's not new. That song was 20 years old, Uncle Clarence. But Uncle Clarence thinking it's new. That's who this old nigga is. I'm getting the image in y'all mind. Y'all feeling me? So anyway, Uncle Clarence, Frankie Beverly and Mays reject, Bluetooth in his ear, and he was wearing Mandals too. I forgot to tell y'all that. The nigga had on Mandals. Y'all know those man sandals, them old nigga, them Essence Fest flops, nigga, the Mandals. So, Mr. Hey, how you doing? With the Mandals and the Frankie Beverly and Mays reject, he get to talking to me some more. So, he get to talking, and I'm like, do you know that young people buy those shoes at Flight Club LA? The ones you see standing in line, those young black men are buying for $2, selling for $2,000. Buying for $3, selling for $900. I said, why would I discourage a young black man from buying low and selling high? And he said, no. See, the problem is it shouldn't be like that. We should have some industries. I said, sir, that's the world we like to live in. That's fine. I like that world too. Mind you, young niggas, I'm looking this man dead in my eye. Mind you, this man is at least 25 years older than me, probably 30. But I'm still talking with respect because he is my elder. But I'm looking him dead in his eye. And I said, it's not about, he said, well, it should be. I said, let me tell you something. I don't have $100,000 a year job to get that kid. I said, see now, if I had a $100,000 a year job to give that kid, then no, I could tell him, no, come over here and work for me. I said, but the few dollars here and there I could give a kid for doing some internet editing for me, that ain't got nothing on him having a market where he can buy low, sell high, and it's legal. It won't get them put in prison. I said, did you know that Jordans and tennis shoes are the only shoes that appreciate? Like, if you know what you're doing with these kind of shoes, it's the only shoes that don't devalue, and if you take care of them properly. I said, did you know that there's a whole market that young people are in that you're unaware of involving these shoes? And you're talking about consciousness? I said, how? Then he kept talking, no, but we as black people, we should. I said, well, I said, well, should don't put food in the mouth of a 16-year-old. I looked him dead in his eye. I said, yeah, we should be able to do that, but unless you got the money to feed that, to tell that 16-year-old, come do this instead of that, you can't tell him what not to do, especially if what he's doing is legal and it won't get him put in jail. And then he looked, and that's how I knew I broke the old nigga. He looked away, and he looked away at the other young nigga I told y'all about when I started this story. The 30-year-old nigga. He looked away at the 30-year-old nigga thinking he about to get a bit of approval, and the 30-year-old nigga looked at me and said, yo, man, you right. That whole Jordan secondary market is a trip. And so the old nigga, who looked like he just left a Frankie Beverly and Maze concert with a Bluetooth in his ear, thinking it's 2004, thinking that song Jaheim, hey, how you doing, is new. That motherfucker felt like he looked back at me and was like, then I said, then I heard Bussy Porter got off stage and I heard they announced BBD. So when they announced BBD, I said, y'all have a good one, and I was out. But that old nigga was mad. Mm, mm. That old nigga was mad. Because it was like, think about this. And that's why the young generation don't listen to the old niggas. You right, somebody said they want Wakanda. Old niggas want to talk about what we should be doing. I deal with where we are. Fuck what we should be doing. Like, I work on what we should be doing, but I'm only one person. I don't have a $60,000 a year job to give a kid. I'm working on it. I think in a couple of years I'll have a few slots for a few $100,000 a year jobs for people in a few years. But right now I don't. So since I don't have that now, how could a kid to not make his money in a legal way? And as someone older than a child, I should at least have the respect for them to understand that the kids get it different than the way I get it, and that's cool. They ain't got to get it. Man, man, the people, my neighbor's apartment, them owners they do not take care of their building. My building's in good shape. My building's beautiful. The people who own the building next to mine, this shit look like this is ugly. We tried to buy this motherfucker a few times. They don't want to sell. We be like, nigga, y'all don't take care of y'all shit though. Why y'all may as well sell to us? God damn. Every time I look at this building next to mine, this is an ugly building. Make my building look terrible. Hmm. I appreciate the Cash App, Corey Reed. But yeah. You right, Quan, they are slumlords like a motherfucker. What's up, B. Pauly? B. Pauly look like he jack off to Ninja Turtles. Um, but that's how it is. Like, you young dudes, don't be afraid to check somebody. What's up, CT? Don't be afraid to check these old niggas. Now, check them with respect. Because you always want to have a certain level of respect for your elders. But don't be afraid to look. If I've had enough, I'm 40 now, right? And let me tell you the rest of that story. I didn't recognize that dude. Because you know what it is when you recognize somebody, but you don't know where you recognize them from? He was one of those situations. I recognized the dude, but I did not know where I knew him from. Come to find out, once I walked away, I realized, oh, he used to actually run this school that I used to work with when I used to work with kids. One of my students, one of my clients, actually went to his school, and I wish I knew that then. Maybe it's because of God that I didn't put those two pieces together then. Because remember I told you guys a story about a child that I used to work with that was like 9 or 10, and He had to get off school, and as soon as he got off school, he had to work. He sell candy. They come pick him up at 4 o'clock, and he sell candy from 4 to like 10 or 11. Well, that particular kid went to that dude's school. But I didn't put the two together till after I walked back to my seat. Mind you, BBD came on, and I heard them in the back. I heard BBD in the back doing Poison. I said, I'm done talking to this old nigga. I got to go back and party. But the old nigga was trying to make it about what he was wearing. But I love laughing at me my age. Birthday weekend for me. I'm 41 now, right? I'm 41 now. Happy birthday to me. So old nigga, so don't be afraid to check these old niggas. Because I've been hearing that shit my whole life. I'm tired of hearing of it too. About the idealistic view of what we can be if everything was all right. Nah, and outside, this isn't live. I recorded this in the year, this is actually a future show. I recorded this in the year 2027. And I'm coming to you from planet Rudicon. And this is being transmitted from 2027 after Earth has been destroyed. Earth has been destroyed. You're watching a previous transmission from the future. So back to my futuristic message. So what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the old nigga. Hey, B Party, don't trip. Metaverse is coming soon. My Metaverse show is coming in 2022, goddammit. But yeah, man. So anyway, the old nigga, and I've been hearing this since I was a kid. Old niggas talking about basically Wakandaism. Old niggas always talking about, hold on, there's a lot of this fire truck coming by. Oh, that shit was going down the street. They come out here. That shit was loud as fuck. It didn't even come by here. That shit was way on the other block. God damn, that shit was loud. But don't let these old niggas Wakanda you is what I'm trying to say, black people. I'm talking to you niggas in your 30s. I'm talking to you niggas in your 20s. Be respectful. Always be respectful. But don't let these old niggas shit on your generation. I've been hearing these baby boom generation niggas say the same shit for 40 years. These baby boomer niggas been saying the same shit since 1985. Except for back then, they were saying it with Jerry curls. Getting out they Datsun with the T-tops. It was a Mazda Z by then. Niggas wearing fishnet shirts and Jerry curls. The same shit they were saying back then is the same shit they saying now with Bluetooth speakers in their ear in 2022. Them old niggas ain't changed a word of their message. See what the black man could be doing. These niggas been saying that shit since Luther Vandross was fat the first time. And they ain't done shit. Ain't done a motherfucking thing. Oh, let me tell you one more thing about this old nigga. See, I guess it's God that I had to walk off. I guess it's God because I made that connection 2 minutes after I walked away from that conversation. This was the old nigga when I used to go to his school that he used to be a principal at. This was an old rundown ass school on the east side of LA. I'm not gonna give out the location. Well, I will tell you where it was. It was on Vermont. And I'm gonna say it was on Vermont, and it was like near Vermont and Imperial, in that area. And no, you guys won't know because like the school was like a former church or some shit like that. The school been closed. It was like off like Vermont and Imperial. I remember pulling up to this rundown ass school that basically had bungalows, and this motherfucker had a Range Rover. My nigga CT Reed, man, I ain't seen you around here in a minute, man. Good to see you, brother. But I'll never forget this school. This school was off 100. It was off like in between Century and like Imperial, that area in Vermont. And I'll never forget because it was this rundown ass school, but it was a white Range Rover that was always pulled up in there. And this is the motherfucker trying to tell me about my Jordans. Think about that, black people. The motherfucker trying to tell me about materialism had a school that needed a paint job, but he had a brand new Range Rover. See, had I sat around that for 2 more minutes, I would have made those connections and the conversation would have changed. So maybe it's God that BBD came on and I heard them niggas singing Poison. So if y'all look on my Instagram and you see me back in my seat when Poison came on, I needed that break of blackness to cleanse my soul of that bullshit ass interaction. Yeah, that Jordan thing was saying for a long time. Good look. Let me tell y'all something. The same problem we having now, I remember when I was 8, 9, before Jordans were a thing. Jordans were around, but nobody gave a fuck about Jordans. Black people were dealing with the same shit in 1988. All right? I remember growing up in the hood, seeing the shit that we was dealing with, crack. I didn't see nobody with Jordans on. We was still dealing with the same shit. The same shit we was dealing with in the 70s, before it was a fucking Jordan. Niggas always wanted to... Yeah, Poison is what I heard playing in the background. That's why made me leave the conversation like, that motherfucker's Poison. Let me tell you something. I don't even like that song, Poison. Poison is my least favorite BBD song. But when they play I Thought It Was Me, that's my favorite BBD song. I went out last night. The girl was serious. Y'all, hey, young niggas, go back and listen to Belle Biv DeVoe's I Thought It Was Me. Let me tell you something. That song, I Thought It Was Me, will save you from doing too much with the wrong woman. You better don't be listening to some of these niggas that be talking about women, y'all. You better get to know these women. You better listen to women talk, young niggas. Don't be one of these niggas that's so hard that you can't listen to what a woman say. She'll tell you everything, and you won't get played. You won't end up like BBD said. BBD had a hit song, I Thought It Was Me. No, nigga, it's not you. She like that with all these niggas. She just gonna make you feel special if you a goober. So don't be a goober and listen to women, because if you listen to women, you'll be able to find them. Because there's a lot of bullshit ass young niggas. It's a lot of good women out there, yes it is. But it's a lot of bullshit ass women out there too. And if you listening to these women talk, you're able to decipher the difference between the bullshit ass women and the real ones. But if you don't listen to them, if you think you want to do everything and you want to do all the talking, you're going to end up like BBD said, I thought it was me. You better listen to these women, nigga. Listen to what they ain't saying. But yeah, but I was like, I remember when I remember when Poison came out. That's really when Jordan started to really like catch on. What was that, like 91? A couple years before that, Jordans were really catch. But really, when Jordan won in 91, when I Thought It Was Me, all that shit came out around the same time. That's when them Jordans really started to hit. That's when they really started to become a thing. That same 1991, Bulls win the championship. Michael Jordan got, I think, what's it, the sixes or fives? I think those are fives. The ones that was black with the red. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not good with, I'm really not good with the shoe. That ain't going fast. I'm not really good with the shoe names. I told you, 10 of my Jordans I got for free. 10 of my pair of Jordans I got for free. So I'm not really up on the names like that. But these old niggas have been using that Jordan red hair for so long. I get pissed off because I remember them old motherfuckers telling me that shit when I was 15. And I didn't even like Jordans back then. When I was 15, every extra penny I got, I was saving to buy some new part for my drum set. That's what I was doing when I was 15. So I was never even a kid that got caught up in Jordans. But what happened? I still had to listen to every time an old nigga came around talking about, whether it be youth service at church, whether it be, y'all know how it is when y'all young. You trying to play basketball at the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA, wherever you hoop. But they got to bring in some old nigga talking to you about, see, man, you need to go ahead. And what you need to do, young people, is, I got a motherfucking ambulance coming down the street. Again, goddamn. They usually turn their shit off when they come down this motherfucker. This nigga rude. And this motherfucker turned out in front of the ambulance. Yo. About to see an accident. It's a nigga that just made a left-hand turn in front of the ambulance. I wish that ambulance ran up behind your motherfucking ass and hit you. Back to what I was talking about. Old niggas, when I was 15, 16, and I did not wear Jordans, nigga, I wore whatever Nikes I could find for $49.95. Those was the shoes I was wearing, nigga. I didn't give a fuck about no fashion. Nigga, I'm DwannBrown. Niggas fuck with me. It don't matter what I'm wearing, nigga. I've always had plenty of people that fucks with me heavy. I've never been I've never been the goober nigga in the corner. That's never been me. And I didn't need Jordans to do it. And I went to Westchester High School. If you know about LA, nigga, Westchester's where you had to wear. You're going to listen to me and St. Nick talk about it when he dropped the podcast. Westchester, you had to be teed up from the feet up. Not me, nigga. I'll be wearing the same shit I wore last Monday. I walked to my own goddamn drum. So this motherfucker talks. So I've been having to listen to all these old niggas since I was back then. Tell me about Jordans. Youth service. You at the swimming pool. You in summer camp just trying to swim. But they're like, kids, we got a special guest today. And then that special guest be some old nigga telling you that you need to wear a suit and it ain't about wearing Jordans. I remember being 17 and I hated that shit. Y'all probably hear the passion in my voice right now. I hated that shit. Nigga, when I was in my 20s, here we go. All right, we in the young adult ministry at church. There's some nigga telling you about, see, the black people when they wearing Jordans. If we wasn't so into Jordans, and I'm 22, 23 years old, still not giving a fuck about Jordans. But I gotta listen to these old niggas tell people my age that Jordans is the reason why we have a problem. Nigga, same thing when wherever I be, I'm 25, you at the such and such anything, it's gonna be a group of old niggas. See, back then, they was, god damn, there's some bright ass lights. This nigga got the light of God in their car. God damn. Nigga, you got on high beams, nigga? But these niggas was always, I'm in my 20s, dog. I'm 25 now, 26. And all these old niggas could talk about is Jordans. Jordans. But I've always been very respectful. I'm not going to, see, I'm telling you niggas to do something that I didn't do in my 20s. In my 20s, I would just let the old niggas talk, and I wouldn't, I wouldn't really say much. I would just let them go. And I didn't do what I'm telling you young niggas to do. I didn't do this. But these old niggas have been saying the same shit since I was y'all age. Now I'm in my 40s. I'm 41. I've been 41 for 2 days now, and I can't take this shit. I'm done listening to old niggas talk to me about Jordans. I am done. Done. An old nigga better not ever bring up the word Jordan around me. I swear to God, I got about 20 hours of information and shit talk for that nigga if he do. Don't let these old niggas talk to y'all about Jordans. Stop them. They've been saying the same shit for so long. Them the same niggas that tell you that goddamn Joe Biden is a good president, support Kamala Harris. These niggas watch Al Sharpton on TV. These niggas, These niggas love Jesse Jackson. These is the, I've been hearing, what up, dog? So you niggas in your 30s, when y'all talking about baby boomers, I've been hearing that shit since I was in my teens. I was tired of these old niggas talking about Jordans 25 years ago. I can't take that shit no more. What up, boy? Over here on live talking shit.
Shit in the darkness.
You know I do it in the dark. I like niggas looking at me. Say what's up to Teddy, y'all.
Man, I gotta piss. I would say something more. I gotta piss. I love you.
Yeah, so what's up, Guru Cam? So I'm telling y'all something. Don't let these old niggas talk to you about Jordans. I am at my break. Butter Love, you said you at that point too? I'm done. Like, I don't know if y'all hear the frustration in my voice. I'm done. No. You the same motherfucker that probably voted for Jim Clyburn if you lived in South Carolina. You dumb motherfucker. Let me tell you something to y'all that's in y'all 20s. To you niggas that's in y'all 20s and 30s, here's why that's so detrimental to y'all. Those same people talking about Jordans, these were the same people telling us, immigration ain't that bad. Immigration ain't that bad. The Mexicans, they come from a bad neighborhood, from a bad country. So what if they want to share? That's what them niggas told me when I was 15. You know what them same niggas that telling you about Jordans, you know what they told me? They bought that people of color shit. They said people of color. They said that's fine. We're all people of color. We're all in this together. You know what they said? Those are the same people that said, you know what, go to church. Those are the same people that said, Jesus has it. Jesus has our back. It's Jesus, because of Jesus. That's what these motherfuckers told us. That's what they told these same niggas talking about Jordans. They the ones that told us let me tell y'all something. In 1998, the hood was affordable. In 1992, the hood was affordable. In 9296 in LA, you can still get a house for $100,000. If you was down south, You can get a house for $20,000 in 92, 96, when these old niggas was our age. When these old niggas was our age, mind you, salaries are about the same between now and 92. So the salary that they was making in 2010, they was probably making in 92. They could have bought other houses in the hood. But do you know what them old niggas was doing? Them old niggas was partying. Them niggas was going to Smokey Robinson and goddamn Natalie Cole concerts, nigga. Them niggas was having a good time. They was giving their money to the church. That's what they was doing. Oh, TD Jakes is in town. Oh, Creflo Dollar's in town. So when they could have bought a house for you and your sister for $20,000 a pop, them old niggas was sitting around talking about, see, the problem with you young niggas is y'all wearing Jordans. That's what they was doing in 98. When we was in high school, when we was in elementary school, when we was too young to buy a house for $20,000, they could. And think about it, black people. A lot of these niggas had city jobs. Think about it. A lot of these old niggas had city jobs. They had county jobs. They weren't struggling. I ain't talking about the ones who were struggling. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who had county jobs. You mean to tell me they couldn't scrape up enough change to buy a house for $25,000? They was making 60, 70. They weren't doing that. You know what they was doing? They was saying, you know what? Here, this is what they're doing in LA. I don't know how it was in your city, but this is what they're doing in LA. LA was building up Pomona. LA was building up Riverside. So they was like, let me sell this house that I got for $50,000 in 1983. Let me sell this shit for $90,000 in 1992 and move, or $120,000, and I'm moving to Pomona. I'm gonna cash out. Not, man, it's a $60,000 house out there. I'm gonna buy that and move out there, and I'm gonna rent this one out, because I'm gonna leave this house for my son. I'm gonna leave this house for my daughter. These niggas was cashing out and moving out to cheaper land. Hell, say they do cash out in LA and they moving out to Riverside. They selling houses in Riverside for 60, 70 grand. Shit, buy two. No, they want to buy nice cars. And let me tell you young niggas something else too. I don't mean to sound like Dick Gregory, but I'm really speaking to you niggas in y'all 30s and y'all 20s. I'm gonna give you niggas another reason why y'all shouldn't listen to them. When I was 20, I worked at the bank. I worked at Washington Mutual Bank in Inglewood, California, Manchester and Locust, right there in the middle of downtown Inglewood. The best thing that ever happened to me. I learned more working at the bank than I did in college. And because I worked there when I was in college, I learned more working at the bank while paying my way through college than I did in college, all right? Because when you're working with people's money, you really get to see who people really are. People, there's no front it ain't no front when I can see your balance. I don't care what car, I don't care how expensive them glasses are. I don't care how nice your car is. I see that negative $747 balance, nigga. So there is no fronting and faking when you with the nigga at the bank. But me being an observer of human life, an armchair cultural anthropologist, I studied a lot of people back then, and I would see shit. So in 2001, 9/11 happened, right? The towers fell, yada, yada, yada. Mind you, when you get to like what's going on before then, in the 90s, LA is still cracking with crime. The 60s and the A-trays are at an all-time war. The 40s is beefing with the 30s, and the East Coast is tripping out, and so on and so forth. So you got a gang war going on. So they're opening up Pomona, West Covina, Riverside in the 90s. And then when you get to the late 90s, Palmdale and Lancaster. So black people are under a slow migration through the 90s to these outer lying areas, partially because of the crime. I get it. But the houses were cheap enough for you to buy it too. Anyway, houses are slowly appreciating in value as the 90s progress. I thank God for my parents. My parents didn't move way out to no goddamn nothing. Nigga, they moved up to the good neighborhood with black people. I never left black people. I went from the hood of black people to where black people with a whole lot of money lived. So I got to see both experiences as a teenager and as a kid. So everybody's moving out. 9/11 happens, 2001. Why do I bring up 9/11? Well, the reaction to 9/11, what President Bush did, his reaction was spend money. That was President Bush's reaction to 9/11, spend money. So the interest rates start getting cut. Shoo, 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 shoo. So 2001, I get promoted from bank teller to new accounts representative. Right after 9/11, I got promoted from teller to new accounts representative. And then in 2002, I got promoted from new accounts representative to loan officer and head of business loans, right? So right when the interest rate starts getting cut, prime rate, which was once at a 9.6%, is down to a 4.25. And I'm doing loans. And so why am I saying I'm doing loans? So you're getting a lot of black people coming in here who own houses in Inglewood, right? I'm in the middle of Inglewood. Inglewood that's getting gentrified right by the Forum now. Mind you, this is Inglewood right after the Lakers left. The Lakers leave Inglewood to go to Staples Center September 1999. So there's like a vacuum in Inglewood right now. It's like no more Lakers in Inglewood. So it's like feel like something missing, right? Well, anyway, I get a whole lot of loans, right? I'm getting loans every week, 2 or 3 loans a week. Refinance. And I'm telling the people, okay, if you're gonna refinance the house, make sure that you use the money to upgrade, upgrade your kitchen, your plumbing, your bathrooms, whatever. Spend money how you spend money, but make sure you upgrade your shit, right? We in 2002, Inglewood, Los Angeles, California. Lakers are three-peating, getting ready to sweep the New Jersey Nets for 4-0 for the third straight championship, 2002, that year. All right? What do I see? I'm 21 years old, mind you. 2002 is the year I turned 21. So when you turn 21, for me, I don't know how it was for y'all, but there's like another level of observation that just came online. And I'm starting to look, I've always looked kind of deep into things, but I'm looking, when I turned 21, I just remember a light bulb coming on and me looking even deeper into things. And so I'm seeing all these black people who got these houses in Inglewood. They're taking $50, $60, $100,000 out in equity. And they're buying a Lexus GS 400. They're buying the newest clothes. They now have these expensive sunglasses on. And I'm looking like, Dang, Miss Watson, I know you just got 100,000, but damn, that's a nice Lexus GS 400. But damn, Miss Watson, you not gonna upgrade your bathroom? You could back then, mind you, we in 2002. So the housing market is simmering right now. It hasn't exploded yet, but it's simmering and it's on the way up. So you can still get houses in the mid 150, 190,000 in LA. At the same time, you could pull out 100,000 in equity. Listen to me, people. These people have $60,000 balances on their house. Their house is now appraising for 290. We're giving out loans up to 80% loan to value. So if your house is appraising at 300,000, I'm high, folks. Quan, help me out with my math. 80% of 300,000 is what? 240,000? And you owe 80,000 on a house? Mind you, the house next door is selling for 160,000. You know what you can do? You can pull that equity out and you only need at the time, and let me tell you something else was more frustrating. You don't even need, this is in 2002, 2003. The loan game changed. You used to need 2% to put down on a house. Well, in 2003, President Bush and President Clinton opened the housing market up for straight up predators. So in 2003, you can buy a new house. Guess what, people? 100% financing. It gets even better. In some instances, depending on your credit, you can buy a house at 110% of its value. These are the loans that they're giving out in 2003, y'all. You can buy a house at 110% of its value on stated income, stated assets. Do you know what stated income, stated? Well, the 110%, you have to verify your income on the 100. But at 100% loan to value or 80-20 loan, 80% first, 20% second, you can get those stated income, stated assets, meaning you just state how much money you have in your account, and the bank says, has you signed an affidavit saying, are you sure you're not lying? And you say, yes, I'm not lying. And they believe you and you get the loan. So let's back it up. For those of you who may have just gotten in the room, we're in 2002. You owe $80,000 on your loan. Your house is now worth $300,000. You can borrow up to 80% loan to value. So that means you can borrow up to $240,000. Minus 80, now you're at $160,000 cash you can have, right? At the same time, the house next door to you is selling for $170,000. You can buy that house, stated income, stated assets, at 100%. You don't even gotta put money down. But if you do decide, you can pull out $140,000, $160,000 in equity. You can pull that out and you can put 20% down, 30% down on that house next to you. And you can rent it out. Your kids are 16. They can own that motherfucker when they done with college or wherever you're gonna send them off to. But no, you said, I want this new Chrysler 300 and this new Bluetooth that just came out. Oh, did you see? Motorola got that new Bluetooth. So the same old niggas that are wearing Bluetooths in 2002 that could have pulled the equity out their home to buy a whole nother fucking house is talking to you about Jordans. You see why I'm tired of these old niggas? Nigga. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm tired of these old niggas right there. I was 21 years old, working at the bank, watching these old niggas fumble away Inglewood, California. We could have fortified Inglewood in 2002. Lakers' third championship. Shaquille O'Neal MVP. I think his average was 39 points a game, 15 rebounds that series. We could have fortified Inglewood. We could have, and at the time, there's this mayor in Inglewood named Roosevelt Dorn. That sorry son of a bitch. Claude Anderson tried to do his fish farm in Inglewood, black-owned businesses in 93, 94. Roosevelt Dorn, mayor, kicked him out. You worked at Indy Mac? Haha. Clinton worked at Indy Mac. This nigga Clinton was a third customer in Pornhub history. Clinton was the third nigga with a profile on Pornhub. And he got that profile working at Indy Mac, and that's how he got fired. Talking about he didn't know what he was signing up for. The website was new. But yeah, we got to talk about these things, black people, because we got to be real about where we went wrong so it don't happen again. Millennials, young Gen X, we weren't in position at that time to do anything. Why? They told us to go to college, not to get it. So we followed what they said. We went to college. So at the time these houses were $90,000, we were off getting our education, not getting it. That's what happened. That's what happened. We were told to go to college. So at the time, interest rates are low and money was easy to get. We were studying our asses off for degrees most people that got one don't use anymore. Mind you, that's the same generation that tell you about Jordans. So we gotta have these conversations. We gotta talk about our complicity with white supremacy, because white supremacy can only exist with a mindset of black inferiority. There's a yin and yang to every relationship. A system can only exist if the people that system is ruling over accept their position in that system. Like, you can only stand on someone's back who's bent over. And in order to get somebody off your back, you don't have to fight them. You just have to stand up. So when we have these type conversations we gotta talk about the times that we've been complicit. And I'm pinning it on the same generation that talks to you about Jordans. Because in 2002, 2003, when the hood was still affordable, there was that 2003, 2000, that period between 2001 in 2003. Because 2004 is when it really started to take off. But 2001, 2002, that was that period between where loans where both the housing prices hadn't gone up too far, and loans were very easy to get. I mean, very easy to get. By the time you get 2003, 2004, the loans are still easy to get, but the housing price has skyrocketed. But if that time just after 9/11, when President Bush's response to 9/11 was to make people spend more money, there was about an 18-month window to where things weren't too crazy expensive, and at the same time loans were way too easy to get. But again, they told us to go to college. They told us to go to college and not to buy Jordans. They told me, this is what they were telling me. They were pumping my head up saying, Dwan, you're in college and I never see you wearing Jordans. And that was supposed to be some sort of badge of honor that they felt that they were bestowing on me. I was in college. I was still playing the drums at church, so I was still, and I don't buy Jordans. That's what the old niggas was telling me was good about me. I don't need to wear Jordans. I'm in college. The same niggas ain't built a motherfucking thing for the kids that are out there now, and they still talking to you about Jordans. So black people, we gotta be smart. You right, people was racking up student loan debt. See, I was smart about my shit. Like I said before, I paid my way through college. One thing I will say is, I did get it when I was in college. I didn't let college stop me from getting it. Luckily for me, I'm a high energy person. So I would have 3 to 4 classes, and I worked at the bank 20 hours a week, 25 hours a week, and I did a side hustle. Like anytime the bank declined a loan, I would just send it to one of my people and then do loans on the side of the bank and get way bigger money on the side. And I played the drums for like 2 different bands, so I was always getting show money. So I paid my way through college cash. But what if I didn't? And I ended up buying a house. I bought my first house my last year of college. I did. I went for it, nigga. When I could go for it, nigga, I went for the fucking stratosphere, nigga. I ended up getting fucked over in one of those deals by somebody, but that was one of those that you live and learn moments. I was young when I got fucked over, so it should never happen to me again, nigga. But I went for it. So, and let me tell you something. When you 23 years old and you buy your first house for 600 some odd thousand, this is one thing you realize is true. And mind you, at 23, I did not wear Jordans. I didn't even like Jordans. I didn't even wear Jordans back then. But let me tell you something. When that mortgage came through, you realize one thing. Ain't no goddamn pair of Jordans stopping this shit. If Jordans is your problem, if Jordans is what's stopping you from buying the house, you don't have a Jordan problem. You have an income problem. Your income sucks if Jordans is stopping you. When you buy a house as young as I did, for as much as I bought that house for, nigga, you realize real quick, it ain't a motherfucking pair of Jordans on earth that's stopping this mortgage. I think my mortgage on that house, looking back, I think my mortgage was like $3,600 a month, something like that. I forgot. That was so goddamn long ago. I forgot. But the mortgage is like, it was well above $3,000 a month. And when you pay $3,000 a month in the mortgage, you realize it ain't no motherfucking $200 pair of Jordans getting in the way of this right here happening, nigga. It's not the Jordan's fault. It's the income. Yeah. You say you was in college and wearing J's, huh? Yeah, but y'all see the game they play. Y'all see the game they play. So again, don't let these old niggas talk to you about Jordans. They haven't done enough. They were around. These old niggas had county jobs when this was going on. Yeah, 3K, yeah, back then. We talking about 2005, yeah. I bought the house my last year of college, 2005. That's why I be laughing at. When I be listening to and salute to the Black channel. I love listening to Jason Black's breakdown. But the cool thing about when I listen to Jason Black talk about what's going on around the country, when I hear him, it's really good to hear that brother giving y'all these warnings. But everything he's saying, I'm like, man, LA was dealing with that shit 30 years ago. Like, nigga, I was a teenager dealing with this whole immigration thing. So y'all better listen to that brother talk. He telling you. But us LA niggas knew that this shit was going on 30 years ago. The housing thing, when he was like, the median, I remember I was watching the Black channel last week, and he saw the median house like being like 300,000. I'm like, man, if I could find a house for 300,000 in LA, I'd be like, give me two. Give me two. I'm getting 300,000, nigga. Nigga, rent in my building is more than the mortgage on a $300,000 house. Shit, you want to stay in one of my 2 bedrooms? That's going to be more than the mortgage on a $300,000 house. And I be hearing you niggas talk about what's going on. Yeah, 300K, like shit. Y'all complaining about 300K? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I heard black folks trying to talk about that house worth $3 million now. Yeah, like, I'm mad. Like my parents, for the most part, they sold one. I was like, I wish they kept that. But my parents held on. My parents are smart. I'm gonna tell you something, like today's Father's Day, man. Let me tell you something I love about my mom and my dad. And this is why I am the way I am. And I was telling my parents this today. First of all, it's so dope being able to still talk to my parents. Like, so for those of you who can't, man, my heart goes out to y'all. Like, I really do. Cause when I hear some of y'all stories with you people who don't have your parents, when I hear y'all talk, that's always reminds me to just stay in the moment with mine. As long as my parents are here, I am in the moment. Like I cherish every millisecond I get with my parents. So, but my parents are 2 honorable people. I remember Dr. Claude Anderson came to our church in like 94, 95. And he was doing the Black Labor, White Wealth, and he was talking about the importance of, having your money straight. So my mom and my dad, after they heard Dr. Claude Anderson, the first thing my mom did was enroll in financial literacy courses. Mind you, my mom was always really good. She was never bad with bills, nothing like that. You know what I mean? But my mom enrolled in financial literacy courses, and my dad went and studied Primerica. He didn't study it to sell it. He wasn't really thinking about selling Primerica, but my dad wanted to understand. My dad knew that there was a level of knowledge that wasn't his parents didn't teach to him, and the school system definitely didn't teach to him. So when I was 14 and 15, not only did my parents tell me what to do, but my parents showed me what to do. If it's something going on and you know you don't, and mind you, my dad don't even have a high school diploma. And my mom just graduated my mom graduated high school pregnant with my sister. My mom graduated high school pregnant with my sister. My dad had my brother, and he didn't even finish. And then they had me a few years later. So my parents didn't start off my parents did not start off the way a hunky-dory relationship starts off. They both started off, but I got to see my parents when I was 14 coming to a new level of awareness because of something that they was told, and they realized they was lacking in that area. So they said, you know what? I'm not going to stay lacking. I'm going to learn. So, that's the example that I have. So it's like, when I hear people talk, and it's like, and they talk about what black people don't have and what we don't do. That's why I resent that shit, nigga. I got true blackness passed down to me directly from my parents and grandparents. Yeah, nigga, the system didn't destroy us. The system did not destroy black people. The system knocked a few of us on our ass. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, niggas got knocked on their ass, but the system ain't destroyed shit. We still here, and we still functioning. And thank you for people like Dr. Claude Anderson for keeping the word out there. Dr. Claude Anderson really is a god. Like Dr. Claude Anderson really is a god. You know what I mean? We got to treat him as such as long as he's here. Yeah, we as black people, we ain't stupid. We just misinformed, uninformed. That's all. And really, that was my whole objective when I started this channel. I have a motto that I developed a long time ago, but when I started this channel, I said my motto was this: black people ain't stupid. We just don't know any better. But when we know better, we do better. When we know better, we do better. And that's just true. That's all we've ever done in this country. Black people, we do our best. Oftentimes our best isn't good enough because we don't know no better. And the same thing, going back to what I was saying about a lot of those baby boomers. A lot of those baby boomers, well, I can't say they didn't know any better because a lot of them, a lot of our grandparents' generation, the generation that raised that raised the baby boomers, they knew. Shit, grandparents bought up multiple properties. That's another thing when I saw when I worked at the bank. A lot of these people be getting their mama's house and selling it. Selling a house for 240 grand. Nowadays, 20 years later, that house is worth 1.3 million. And these old niggas sold that shit. And these are the niggas telling you but not to buy no J's. So young niggas know that these old niggas is just ignorant. And don't let them talk to you about no fucking Jordans. They didn't have the consciousness to buy the house down the street that sold for an amount that they could have pulled out in equity from their home. They didn't know to do that. And mind you, they were in their 30s and 40s. They were in their 40s then. These old niggas was in their 40s then. So it's not like they was young either. They wasn't like in their 20s and unaware. No, these niggas was in their 40s when this was going on. They were my age right now. All that equity and a means to afford it. And they were raised by a generation that would have pulled that move in a heartbeat. They were raised by a generation that was getting charged 20% interest rates to buy houses. So when they talk to you about Jordans, tell them to kiss your ass. Don't take that shit, young niggas. And don't let no nigga my age say that shit too. Because if it's a nigga my age, if it's a nigga in his 40s talking that dumb shit, you know you really dealing with somebody who ain't. This nigga who ain't got no cognitive initiative. You know you dealing with a complete dumbass if they my age talking that shit. Like, nigga. Nigga, Jordans, look, Jordans cost less than a tank of gas if you drive a big truck. You could buy a pair of Jordans for the price of a tank of gas in LA. Gas be like $7 a gallon out here. And if you drive an F-250, you buying a pair of Jordans every time you fill up. Nigga, how about that? And you got old niggas talking about Jordans. That crazy bitch Aries, I did a breakdown on Jordan and Nike about probably 2 years ago now. I talked about how Jordan, I forgot the name of that episode, but this is way back on this channel. When every time I first started this channel, when I was only getting like 60 viewers. It was one of them videos when I had like 60 views. But I talked about how Jordan basically got pimped out that deal. Jordan just now becoming a billionaire. Jordan should have been a billionaire 30 years ago with the amount of money he made. Phil Knight became a billionaire in 1992. Why is Jordan just becoming a billionaire in 2020? Jordan getting fucked over in that deal. But yeah. So just make sure, like I said, this is for all y'all young niggas and for everybody in here. I might get up out of here, but when it comes to talking to people, and you have something to say and you standing on your square, look them directly in the eye and stand on your truth. The eye said, the truth is in the eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. Like, for real, for real. The eyes are the window to the soul. And when you speaking from your soul, look them motherfuckers dead in your eye. Show them niggas. and watch them back down. She said Jordan is low-key slow. That's cold. I wouldn't call Michael Jordan slow. He's just an athlete. But yeah, it's good talking to y'all. And get a reading. I'll be doing my readings this week. Book on breakthroughas.org. Telling y'all right now, you want to know what season you headed to in life? Get a reading. I will read your motherfucking ass the truth. I made a couple motherfuckers cry this past week. That's good too. When you can get to people and get right to where they need to be, that feels good because I love healing motherfuckers. That's what I like doing. That's my only motive, honestly. I love healing. I love that shit. I love watching people heal because I like healing. That's how I heal myself. I appreciate that, Aries. Yeah, I love reading. That shit be fun. I love helping people out. I love that shit. That shit give me life. But I holla at y'all. Tamari.